Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves lately, Israel's rejection of Trump's 15-point plan for Gaza. Now, on the surface, this might seem like just another diplomatic spurt, but personally, I think it's a lot more than that. It's a move that not only stokes tensions with the US but also raises deeper questions about the future of the region. What makes this really interesting is how Netanyahu is positioning himself here. He's not just saying no to Trump's plan, he's drawing a hard line on Hamas's disarmament, which, in my opinion, is a calculated risk. It's almost like he's betting that Israel's security concerns will outweigh the diplomatic fallout. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Israel and Hamas. It's about the shifting dynamics between Israel and its longtime ally, the US. From my perspective, Netanyahu's stance could be seen as a test of how far he can push the US without losing its support. And that's a dangerous game, especially when you consider the growing divide within the US itself, with the Democratic Party increasingly sympathetic to the Palestinian cause. If you take a step back and think about it, this could be a turning point in US-Israel relations. What many people don't realize is that Trump's plan, while ambitious, was already a compromise, focusing first on heavy weaponry and tunnels. But Netanyahu's demand for real disarmament goes way beyond that. He's essentially asking for Hamas to be stripped of all weapons, which, let's be honest, is a non-starter for Hamas. This raises a deeper question: is Netanyahu genuinely interested in a solution, or is he using this as a way to maintain the status quo? A detail I find fascinating is how this rejection impacts the Board of Peace, this US-led initiative with 40 countries. Without Israel's buy-in, the board's power is severely limited. Netanyahu has effectively hit the reset button on months of negotiations. And what this really suggests is that the path to peace in the region is more complicated than ever. Now, let's talk about the human cost here. Since the so-called ceasefire last October, Israeli forces have continued to carry out attacks in Gaza, killing hundreds. The numbers are staggering, over 73,000 dead since October 2023. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that these attacks are happening despite the ceasefire. It's like the violence is baked into the system, and that's something we can't ignore. Personally, I think this highlights a broader issue, the cyclical nature of the conflict. Every time there's a glimmer of hope, something like this happens, and we're back to square one. It's exhausting, and it's devastating for the people caught in the middle. Another angle to consider is the role of settlers in the West Bank. With elections coming up, Netanyahu's party is courting the settler vote, which means more attacks on Palestinian villages, more land grabs, and more tension. This isn't just about Gaza, it's about the entire occupied territory. What this really suggests is that the conflict isn't contained, it's spreading, and it's becoming more entrenched. So, where does this leave us? In my opinion, Netanyahu's rejection of Trump's plan isn't just a diplomatic move, it's a statement of intent. He's saying that Israel will not compromise on its terms, no matter the cost. But here's the thing, in a conflict as complex as this, compromise is the only way forward. Without it, we're looking at more violence, more suffering, and more division. As I wrap this up, I'm left with a question for all of us: what will it take for both sides to see that the only way to peace is through mutual respect and compromise? It's a tough question, but one that we need to keep asking. Because until we find an answer, the cycle will just keep repeating itself. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.